When my father passed away, he left one thing behind, a property that everyone in the family secretly wanted. A few months later, I sold that property for $20 million. I thought my life had finally changed, but my best friend told me something strange. She said, "Tell your family you went bankrupt." I didn't understand why, but I listened. What happened next revealed a truth about my family that I was never prepared to see. My name is Samira, and 2 years ago my life changed in a way I never expected. When my father passed away, he left behind a property that had been in our family for decades. It was a large piece of land just outside the city. My grandfather bought it many years ago when it was almost worthless farmland. But over time, the city expanded, businesses grew, and suddenly, that land became incredibly valuable. When the lawyer read my father's will, the entire family sat quietly in the room, and then he said something that shocked everyone. My father had left the property entirely to me, not to my uncle, not to my cousins, not even to my older brother, just me. At first, I didn't understand why. My father loved everyone in the family, but for some reason, he trusted me with the land. After the funeral, everything seemed normal at first, but slowly I started noticing something strange. Every family gathering somehow turned into a conversation about the property. My uncle would casually say things like, "Land prices are going up these days. You should consider selling." My cousin once laughed and said, "If you sell it, remember we're family. We should all benefit." Even my own brother hinted that the money should be shared. I tried not to think too much about it, but deep down, I could feel the pressure building. Then one day, a real estate company contacted me. They wanted to buy the land for a development project. At first, I thought it would just be another low offer, but after weeks of negotiations, the developer made an offer that completely shocked me. $20 million. I thought I had misunderstood. I read the email again and again. $20 million. The number didn't feel real. That amount of money could completely change my life. I could pay off my student loans, invest in businesses, travel the world, and still have enough left to live comfortably for the rest of my life. But before finalizing the deal, I met my best friend Lena for coffee. Lena had known me since we were teenagers. She was honest, observant, and sometimes brutally direct. When I told her about the offer, she looked excited at first, but then she became quiet. After a moment, she leaned closer and said something unexpected. "Don't tell your family about the money." I laughed. "What do you mean? They'll find out eventually." But Lena shook her head. "No, tell them the deal failed." I stared at her. "That doesn't make any sense." Then she said the words I would never forget. "Tell them you went bankrupt trying to sell the property." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Why would I lie like that? Lena looked at me seriously. Because money reveals people's real intentions. I didn't like the idea. Lying to my family felt wrong. But Lena insisted. "Just try it for a few weeks," she said. "You'll learn something important." After thinking about it for days, I decided to follow her advice. The next weekend, our family gathered for dinner at my uncle's house. Everyone was there. My brother, my uncle, my cousins, even relatives who rarely attended family gatherings. It felt like everyone was waiting for one specific question. Finally, my uncle asked it. "So, Samira, did you sell the land?" My heart started beating faster. I took a deep breath. "The deal collapsed," I said quietly. Everyone looked surprised. I continued. "Actually, I lost a lot of money trying to complete the deal. Legal fees, taxes, agents. I'm basically broke now." The room went silent. For a few seconds, nobody said anything. Then my cousin sighed loudly. "Well, that's unfortunate." My uncle shook his head. "I always thought selling that land was risky." My brother didn't even look at me. Instead of sympathy, the atmosphere felt strangely cold. Over the next few weeks, things became even worse. Relatives who used to call me suddenly disappeared. Family gatherings became awkward. One afternoon, I accidentally overheard my uncle talking to someone on the phone. He said, "There's no point expecting anything from Samira anymore. The property turned out to be worthless." Worthless. That word stayed in my mind for days. but the moment that hurt the most came from my brother. One evening, I asked him if he wanted to have dinner together. He sighed and said, "Look, I have my own problems right now. I can't help you financially." I hadn't even asked him for money. Not once. That night, I realized something painful. Not a single person in my family had asked if I was okay. 3 weeks later, Lena called me. "So," she asked, "did you learn anything?" I smiled slowly. "Yes." The following Sunday, I invited the entire family to my house. Everyone came, looking confused. My uncle immediately asked, "Why did you call us here?" I looked around the room. "I want to talk about the property." My brother frowned. "I thought the deal failed." I nodded. "That's what I told you." Then I placed a folder on the table. Inside were the official documents from the sale. I opened them slowly. The land didn't fail to sell. Everyone stared at me. It sold for $20 million. The room exploded with shock. "What?" my cousin shouted. My uncle stood up. "You lied to us?" I looked at them calmly. "Yes, I did." My brother looked furious. "Why would you do something like that?" I answered honestly. "Because I wanted to see how my family would treat me if I had nothing." Silence filled the room. No one could respond. I continued. "3 weeks ago, you all believed I was broke." I looked around the table. "And not one of you asked if I needed help." No one said a word. Then my uncle finally asked the question everyone wanted to know. "So, what are you going to do with the money?" I smiled softly. "I'm investing most of it." Then I added something that made the room even quieter. "And a large part of it, I'm donating to the charity my father loved." My family stood there speechless. As they slowly left the house, I finally understood something my father probably knew all along. Money doesn't change people. It reveals who they truly are. And sometimes the most valuable thing you gain from wealth isn't money. It's the truth.